Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be doing another Top of My TBR video. Top of My TBR is a series that I created on my channel where I basically just talk to you about all the books that are interesting me right now. While I try to do one of these every few months, this isn't necessarily my actual TBR for the next few months. These are just the books that tend to come to the forefront of my mind a lot and that I tend to think about a lot. As per usual with these videos, I'm going to start out with the books that I own and then transition into any new releases or books that I don't own. This first book should come as no surprise to anyone who has been following my channel for any length of time, and that is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I have made it no secret how much I love Cassandra Clare. I love all of her books, and I am just super excited to finally have this book in my possession and to be able to read it soon. Next up is The Invasion of the Tearling by Erica Johansson, which is the sequel to The Queen of the Tearling. I read The Queen of the Tearling in March and I really enjoyed it, and ever since I've been really itching to pick this book up, and I think it's going to actually be my next read, so this is one that you should actually expect to see on my channel in the upcoming future. Next up is one that I think has already appeared on at least one of these videos, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I have been meaning to read the Throne of Glass series for years. Ever since I started watching BookTube, I was really intrigued by this series and I wanted to pick it up, and I just keep pushing it back and not reading it. And I just keep thinking about the fact that I am not reading it. So it always comes to my mind and I'm always like, yep, I need to read that soon, and it just hasn't happened. So, soon, hopefully. Next up is a big one, and that is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. And you're probably thinking, Kristen, if you really want to get to The Way of Kings, why didn't you choose it for your book stack challenge? And it's because it's massive, and I don't know if I'll have time to read it in April. So this will be a pick probably soon when I have time, like over the summer. But until then, I will just keep thinking about this book and how good everyone says it is. The next one that's really intriguing me right now is Off to Be the Wizard by Scott Meyer, which is book number 1 in the Magic 2.0 trilogy. So basically, all the series that you see on this top shelf right here are ones that I'm really thinking about lately. And I don't really have an actual reason for this one, why it keeps popping up in my mind a lot. I think part of it is because I really can't start it right now because of my book buying restriction. If I wanted to marathon this trilogy, I couldn't, because I couldn't just go out and buy books 2 and 3. So I don't know. Maybe once I buy the second and third ones, I will finally marathon this trilogy. But until then, I'll just keep thinking about it, which is why it wound up on this list. And then the last one that I actually own is Reflections of the Mole. So you're probably a little confused right now because not only did I not say an author, but I have sticky notes on this book. Essentially, there's this TV show called The Mole that I really love. And in this show, there are a bunch of contestants competing to win money, and one of the people in the group is secretly the mole who is working against the contestants to try to sabotage games and keep them from winning money. I recently discovered that the person who was the mole in one of the seasons wrote this book. And of course, I had to pick it up, and I will be reading it very soon. But I love the show enough that I am avoiding spoilers like the plague, so I don't want to ruin the show for anyone. So I covered up both the author's picture and name with sticky notes so that no one saw who the author is. If you want to look it up, go for it. I obviously know who it is, but I don't want to ruin it for any of you who might want to watch the show someday. So now moving into the books that I do not own, the first of which is The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. I first heard about this book on Reagan from Peruse Project's channel, and ever since she first mentioned it, I have been really intrigued by this book. I kind of have this weird relationship with it where every time I go into a bookstore, it's like the first book that I check for, even though I really don't intend on buying it while I'm there because I obviously am on a book buying restriction. But like any time that I go to any sort of bookstore or that I'm in a bookstore, it's like one of the first books that I look for while I'm there, even though I don't intend to buy it. And I've been doing this for months. And it just comes to the forefront of my mind all the time, and I constantly think about possibly reading it soon, and I don't know, I'll probably get to this one sometime in the next couple months just because of how much I think about it all the time. The next one on this list is Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I'm pretty sure that this one showed up on another Top of My TBR video, and it's just off and on been really intriguing to me. This book has intrigued me off and on over the past like year and a half, And lately I've been really kind of in the mood for it and the whole like unreliable narrator thing and all the mystery underlying the plot. So I have been really thinking about picking it up, but I'm not sure if I actually will. Mostly just because I have so many books that I really want to get to soon. And this is just kind of one that floats in and out of my memory. I'm like, oh yeah, that one. And then I forget about it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that one. So I don't know. The next one on this list is The Iron Trial by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. This is definitely one that's at least been mentioned in one other Top of My TBR video, maybe two, I'm not entirely sure. But I am especially wanting to pick this one up after reading Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Right now, the magic school trope is definitely something that I'm really wanting to read and that I'm really in the mood to read. So this one especially has been coming to the forefront of my mind a lot. And I've been meaning to pick it up for quite a while, so hopefully that happens soon. Similarly, the next book on this list is The Magicians by Lev Grossman. Like I said, books with magic schools in them are definitely something I'm in the mood for right now, and the TV show looks super cool, so it's just really been pushing me to get to the series soon, hopefully. I say that about pretty much every book on this list, and you know I'm not gonna get to all of them soon, but you know, soon. Next on the list is On Writing by Stephen King. Lately, I've been working on some world building and character development and outlining for my novel, which I plan to work on during Camp NaNoWriMo in July. And I've just really been in the mood for like writing type stuff. And after reading some of the tips that Stephen King has about writing, I really want to pick up this book and see what else he has to offer in the way of writing advice. While his writing style isn't always my favorite to read, I feel like it works in some instances and not in some instances, I definitely really respect him as an author, and the stuff that I've read so far that are his writing tips have been really interesting and helpful. So like I said, I really want to see what else he has in his book. Another book that has really piqued my interest is Signal to Noise by Silvia Morena Garcia. I first heard about this book a couple months ago. A couple of booktubers were talking about it, and I didn't really listen to what it was about, and so I didn't really think too much about it except that it had a cool cover. And then when another booktuber, I can't remember who was talking about it, but I saw a booktuber talking about it, and I actually listened to them explain what the book was about, and I was so intrigued. Two of the important themes within this book are music and magic, and those are two things that make my little head like freak out and really want to pick it up. So hopefully, and I really mean this one, hopefully I pick this one up soon. This is definitely, out of the books on this list, this is one of the ones near the top. Next on this list is Coda by Emma Trevane. Basically, after reading The Chimes and The Bone Season and The Mime Order, I was really in the mood for some more fantasy dystopian set in London with some music, and what I found was Coda. I don't think it's set in London, so it's missing out on that. However, it is a fantasy dystopian where music plays a very integral part. And obviously, knowing me, that just sets everything off in my brain and it makes me want to pick it up. I've never heard anyone talk about this book. I just kind of stumbled across it on Goodreads through like recommended books if you liked this. So hopefully I get to pick it up soon, like I say with every book, but again, this is one of the ones that's higher up, and I really want to check it out in the near future. Next on the list is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is one that I've heard about a lot over the past couple of years and that a lot of people have really raved about, but it didn't really come onto my radar very much until the last few months. And basically what kind of triggered that was seeing the Penguin drop cap cover, because it is gorgeous. Red and black are my two favorite colors already, and the fact that the Z is formed out of a bookcase, it's just a beautiful cover. And then because of the beautiful cover, I ended up kind of looking up more information about the book, and it really sparked an interest to pick it up because it does sound very intriguing and mysterious, and especially since I'm going to be reading The Book Thief this month, it is popping up even higher on my list because I kind of tend to associate those two books with each other because they sound very similar from what a lot of people have said. So yeah, hopefully I will be getting this one soon because A, the book is beautiful, and B, it is really intriguing me right now. And finally, the last book on the list is Air Awakens by Elise Kova. I don't remember exactly how I came across this book, but I want to say that maybe Riley mentioned it in a video. And the premise sounds really cool. It sounds like there's a lot of political intrigue, and there's a girl who's a bookseller who finds out that she can do magic, and it just sounds like a lot of things that I really love. So this one has been really intriguing me, and I have all 3 books in the series on my Kindle, so I might end up getting that. And why didn't I include this in the I have this book section? I don't know. But yeah, this book is really intriguing me right now, and like with all the other ones on this list, I hope to get to it soon. Although I can't get to all the books on this list very soon because there are a lot of them. Oh well, I'll get to them when I get to them, but right now the books on this list are really interesting to me. And I don't think I talked about any books that are coming out soon, but if I remember correctly, pretty much all of the books that I'm really curious about this year come out in either the summer or the fall, so not yet. Soon. Soon seems to be the operative word in this video. Soon. So that is it for my 4th top of my TBR video. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the books that I talked about today. As always, I will leave links down in the description to my blog, Twitter, and Goodreads. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!